Hey everyone, it's iTalkApple. This is the first in a series of videos about new features, new apps, everything you want to know about macOS 10.8 Mountain Lion. This video is just about Notes, which is a new application available on the Mac, but it's been available on iOS since the beginning. And so I'm just gonna give you a basic overview of it. So I'll open it up. And as you can see, it looks really familiar if you have an iOS device because it's basically the same as the Notes app on an iOS device as far as the interface goes. So as you can see, we've got two main panels. On the left, we've got all of our notes in a list, and you can select any note to view it. And then on the right is the body of the note. You can change the way this window works. You can make the left side bigger or smaller simply by dragging. As you can see, I've created a note that sort of goes through the features, but before I go over that, I want to mention that the reason Notes is special, the only reason that I would actually use Notes is because of the iCloud syncing feature. So Notes actually syncs across all of your devices, across your iOS devices and across your other Macs. So I actually created all of these notes except for the bottom few, which I created on my iPhone. The top ones, Safari, Messages, Notes, I created those on my MacBook Air. And when I stopped working on my MacBook Air and I came here and sat down at my iMac, all of my notes were already here because of iCloud syncing. So that's a nice feature. Other than that, it's really an unremarkable application, but it's nice to have. So you can actually have notes for different email accounts. So if we click this button, you can see this is the iCloud account, but you could have one for Gmail or AOL or whatever email you have. I prefer to just keep it all in iCloud. It's a lot simpler. Another thing you might notice is this plus button. When I put my cursor over here, you can actually sort your notes into folders, which is another really nice feature that I like a lot. So if I click the plus button, I can name this folder YouTube. And what I usually do is I actually use Notational Velocity, which is a really nice free app, and I actually take notes before making my YouTube videos, kind of like an outline of what I want to talk about. So this folder could be used for that if I decide to replace Notational Velocity with this Notes app. For now, I'm going to stay in this folder, Notes, and you can actually drag notes to different folders. So for example, I'll drag Safari to YouTube, and now if I click YouTube, there's the Safari note. So I'm gonna get rid of this other sidebar, and I guess I'll go through some of the features in Notes. As you can see, we've got a search bar at the top. If you've got tons of notes, that's obviously useful to search through notes. When you create a new note, whatever you first type becomes the note's title. And you can see it's time-stamped at the top right-hand corner. So Notes on the Mac is a little more flexible than Notes on an iOS device because you've got a lot more options when it comes to fonts. So you can change fonts. All you have to do is highlight what you want to change, go to the menu bar under Format, then Font, and here you can actually change what your default font is. I like keeping it at Noteworthy. Or you can show fonts or hit Command T on your keyboard to bring up your basic font window, and you can scroll through and choose whatever font you like, change the size, and change the color, all that fun stuff. In the Notes app, you can also add different types of lists. I've got examples here in this About Notes note. So you can add bulleted lists, numbered lists, and you can also add dashed lists. What I don't like about this is that there's no keyboard shortcut that I know of to add these types of lists. So each time you want to add a list, you have to go up to Format, Lists, and then choose whichever list you want to add. And that's really annoying because usually when you're making a list, you'll do something like headline, and then you'll go to Format, Lists, and then add a list here. And then you'll make another headline, and then you have to go back to the top Format, Lists, and then continue on, and that's really annoying. So Hopefully Apple implements some sort of keyboard shortcut. If there is a keyboard shortcut and I'm just completely missing it, then please let me know. And another thing you can do in Notes is drag and drop a picture into the note, adds it to the note. Finally, at the bottom here, we've got the trash icon to delete the note, or the share icon. So click that and you can email it or send a message. If I click email, it automatically creates a new email, puts the note in the body of the email, including the picture and all the fonts and lists and everything. And then obviously you can send it off to whoever you want. So as you can see, I've got my iPhone on the screen right now. And sorry, I'm not looking at the camera, I'm looking at my iPhone. I'm gonna go to this iCloud folder here. And you can see that this sample note that I created recently has synced already. And if I select it, there you go, you see the fonts are different and everything. And if I go back to accounts, you can also see that in iCloud, YouTube, which is that new folder I also created in the video, is here. So it syncs pretty quickly. It's definitely not immediate. You're not going to type on your Mac and then see it appear automatically like while you're typing on your iPhone, but it is pretty fast. It takes like a minute or two at the most, so that's nice. So the main question is, what makes this like worth using if you already use a Notes app like Evernote or Notational Velocity, which isn't as full featured as Evernote obviously, but that's what I use. And honestly, like I said earlier, it's not a special application, but it's so nice that it syncs between your Macs and your iPhones. Then again, Evernote does that too, but this is a lot simpler than Evernote, and I actually probably prefer this to Evernote just because I like really simple apps like this. Will it be replacing Notational Velocity for me? I really actually think that it will in the future if Apple like updates this and makes it easier to add lists and stuff. Then I definitely think it could, because right now with Notational Velocity, since I have the application on my Mac and on my iMac and my MacBook Air, I actually have completely different notes on each computer because it doesn't sync over your computers, even though it does sync with Simple Note, and I have that app on my iOS device, and you could get that on the internet on any computer. But I like Notes. If you have Mountain Lion, you might as well try it out, especially if you have multiple Macs and an iOS device. So thanks very much for watching. Look forward to more videos soon, and have a nice day.